Hi everyone, and welcome to the second episode of eShe TV. Today we're going to talk about mental resilience, and we're going to talk about three steps that you can do to maintain your mental resilience during the pandemic. Now, I don't know about you, but I've had a really tough lockdown. For me, it's been like this boiling pot of emotions. There's been a lot of uncertainty and anxiety and fear of the future. There's also been a lot of gratitude, a lot of growth, a lot of hard work. I felt at some points overwhelmed with, and overburdened. But then there have been moments where I felt immensely blessed, and I felt really connected with the universe and with humanity in general. So, this whole experience has really deepened my own understanding of the meaning of having a healthy mind and mental well-being. And what I think I've learned is that having a healthy mind is a lot like having a healthy body, and similar rules apply. So, for instance, for a healthy body, they tell you to stay away from junk food. So, similarly, I would say for a healthy mind, one should stay away from a lot of negative stimuli, a lot of negative sensorial inputs, and go for things that are more nourishing, more uplifting, that add meaning and value to your life. For a healthy body, they tell you to exercise. So similarly, for building your mental muscle, you need to do some kind of exercise on a daily basis. Like whether you do meditation or chanting or, I do pranayam and it really helps me. Uh, and also, generally to be have a physically good body, you need to be active. And being sedentary is considered poison. So I would say the same thing applies for the mind. You have to be active. You have to keep learning new things. You have to develop your mental muscles in that sense. Keep trying something new on a daily basis. So this is what I've learned, and today we're going to talk to somebody who's done even more study on the subject of happiness, and she's going to share this with us. So I'm going to call her into the room now. Her name is Aruna Joshi, and everyone, please welcome Aruna to the talk. Hi, Aruna. Welcome to
Hi, Ekta.
ECTV.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for having me.
let me introduce Aruna to the viewers. Aruna is actually an architect. She studied architecture and she was an architect for 18 years until she found her true calling in writing. She's also an artist, painter, and designer. And if check out her Facebook, she puts these really wonderful creations every day. She's written for various magazines and she even co-founded a spiritual magazine called Cosmic Journey along with her husband a few years ago. So, what drew me to Aruna is the fact that she's been on a long spiritual quest and she's authored two self help books. So, I'm just going to show you what those books are here. So, one of the books is called Wake Up, and it's about morning rituals for a successful and productive day. And the other one is called The Happiness Manual, and it's 21 ways to stay happy no matter what. So, this is what actually is the part that interests me today, and we're going to talk to Aruna about this. So, Aruna, since you have been counseling and coaching people on how to stay happy, I thought let my first question to you today be, what is happiness and what does it mean to you?
Okay. So, what is happiness is a very subjective question. But yeah, what does it mean to me? Happiness, I feel, is a state of mind. It is a choice that we make at every moment. Because what happens is we go in pursuit of happiness all over, like we feel that if I study well, if I get a good job, if I get married, if I buy a car, if I buy a bungalow, I'll be happy, I'll be the happiest person in the world. And when actually you achieve all these things, you feel that, oh, I'm still not happy, you know so why am I
Yeah.
doing all this? I did everything. I worked so hard. I did everything to stay happy, but I'm somewhere not happy. Something is lacking in my life. And we go more and more in search of happiness in all these directions, not to find it. But happiness, I feel, is within us. Happiness is actually already there. It is that it just gets covered by so many layers, so many things while we grow up. There is, all the negative beliefs we form, all the conditioning, all the circumstances we go through, the challenges we go through. All these things form a covering around our happiness, and that happiness is lost in that pile of the layers that we form. So I'll just give you a small example of how to get through to that happiness, because that happiness is already there. So instead of looking outside for happiness, if we just turn inwards, we'll find that happiness there. But how do we go there? How do we reach there? So let's say that you get a glittery brass vase from the market and you keep it in a house and you just leave it unattended for a few months. So what happens is, especially in places like Bombay, it will begin to tarnish. So it will gather all that rust and it will become dirty. So what do? Then you find out ways to remove those stains and that tarnish so that it becomes glittery brass vase again. Similarly, with us, since we are covered with layers and layers of conditioning and beliefs and negative things, negative beliefs, and so many, the challenges that we go through, we need to find out ways to remove these layers which we have formed around ourselves, around that happy self, which is the core, which is at the core. So once we uncover, we unlearn, we remove all these layers, we'll find that happiness, which is very much there within us. That's why I said happiness is just the state of mind. You just need to switch to that state.
Right. So what you're saying is that we need to polish that vase every day to make its true essence shine.
Absolutely.
And essentially, it's
Absolutely.
already shiny and it's already bright, but we have to
It is.
make
Yeah.
that daily effort to do the
Yeah.
polishing. Otherwise, we're going to just keep
Absolutely.
getting covered with layers of mental
Absolutely.
conditioning and
That's true.
the grime of daily life. So, okay,
Yes.
so what about people who are going through difficult times? For instance, during the pandemic, people have lost jobs, people are facing financial losses,
Yeah.
they're facing social isolation. I mean, I know that I miss, my friends, I miss meeting my friends. I haven't hugged my parents for 6 months. That's pretty painful.
Absolutely.
I'm somebody who is very physical and who really,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to have that human connection, and I missed that.
Yes.
That's been something that I've really missed, is that human connection
Yeah.
that we were all very used to.
Yeah.
And also, there has been a lot of other problems in people have faced in these times. So, what is mental resilience, and how can it help people get through tough situations like this one?
Okay, so when you say mental resilience, it means it is the capability, the capacity, or the ability to cope up with adverse situations that life throws at us and bounce back
Yeah,
again at life. So, mental resilience is something that some people have it within them, like everybody has it within them. Some people realize it, they are aware of it, and some people are not. Actually, there's the research says that people who are successful, 30% is the talent or the qualification or whatever you have learned, and 70% is the mental resilience which takes them uh, to their goal, or to helps them become successful. So mental resilience or the mental strength is very, very important in going through any kind of adverse situations. Now, it could be anything, it could be relationships, it could be finance, it could be career. Now, as you rightly said, that during this pandemic, people have lost crores of people have lost their jobs. You're not able to move out, you're not able to meet our loved ones. There have been relationship issues, there have been so many relationship issues during this time. There have been cases of depression, there have been, there's always there in the news, there are suicide
that's
cases,
right.
and so
Yeah.
many things are going on. Now, here, when there is an adverse situation like this, your mental resilience plays a very, very important role. How strong you are mentally, how sound you are mentally, how much you are able to take up that stress, or uh, handle it, adapt to the new situation, and go through it. So when you are able to not only go through it but grow through it, that actually proves your method. So
Growth.
that is what is the mental resilience is. So this, I mean, there are various ways to build up this mental resilience. So, as you rightly said in the beginning, that you need to practice. Like how for your body you will do exercise, you will eat proper food. For your mind, you need to do whatever is required, like meditation. There's uh, people they say that mindfulness is a very powerful exercise, or being aware of the moment, living in the moment. So there are
Yes.
so many things like this which actually help you build up your mental resilience, and
Yeah.
you're able to grow through the situations, so whatever situation life throws at you.
Right. So let's come to the topic of the day today, which is your top three tips to develop mental
Yeah.
resilience in difficult times, such as the pandemic. So, what do you suggest?
Yes. Okay, so there are lots of things which we can do. Each one also has their individual way of doing it. But yeah, broadly speaking, I can give three important tips which
Yeah.
can help you build up your mental strength. If you practice it mindfully, if you become aware of it with greater awareness, if you practice, it will definitely help you. So,
Right.
point number one is accept and choose your response to the situation. So, by this, what I mean is, there if you have if there's a given situation like the pandemic, it is all it has the pandemic has taken the whole world by storm. Nobody is able to do anything about it. Now the more we resist it, the more we fight the pandemic, the more we are going to get into struggle mode, conflict mode, and it's going to be difficult to gain that strength to go through it. Now this
Right.
is a given situation, you and me, and nobody can do anything about it. So the best way in such a situation is to accept it.
Hmm.
Once you accept the situation, it is half the battle won. Then what remains is your response to that situation. Now, if I have accepted that, okay, this is going to be like this, now how do I respond to it? I can either crib about it, I can fret about it, I can say, oh, I'm not able to meet my friends. I don't know what will happen to my job. Will I lose it? What will happen? I don't know. There's like a lot of anxiety. There is, I have to do so much of work because the maids are not there. So you can keep on complaining, or the response could be, okay, this is the situation. Let me accept it. Let me make the best of it. Instead of cribbing, I might say, I'm so grateful that at least, whatever I have a house to live in. I have, my daily needs are fulfilled. God has given, made me healthy. At least I'm, health wise, I'm okay. I don't have so many problems that other people have. So, no, you can find out small things to be grateful for this. So there are two kinds of responses once you accept the situation. Now that response that you have towards the situation will, that is your choice, and that will define how mentally strong you grow. So acceptance and the response to the situation is very, very important. And the situations that we know that we cannot change and nobody cannot change, the best thing is to accept and to surrender. That okay, this is the thing. Now what? Then you get that mental strength to go through whatever is there in front of
I like this word surrender.
you.
It's very meaningful
So
for me because
yeah,
a lot of
it is.
difficult moments in life, when you surrender to them, there's a certain kind of
Yeah,
uh, otherworldly strength that you gain, and you're able to see through it to the other side. Like you
yeah,
said, just go to the other side, but grow to the other side. So yeah, okay,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
moving on.
So yeah, so having said that, we come to the second point. So the first point is accept and choose your response to the situation. The second point is what happens when such an adverse situation comes is we get fearful. So point number two is replace fear by faith. So as soon as any challenge, any adverse situation comes, the first response is fear, insecurity. You know, what if I lose my job? What if something goes wrong? What if I fall ill? What if this happens? What if that happens? So there are so many thoughts, negative ones, that are coming to our mind. And all these thoughts are nothing but the projections that we make in the future. So we don't know whether we're going to lose the job. We don't know whether we're going to fall ill. We don't know anything. What we're doing is projecting those thoughts in the future, that what if this happens? And that makes us fearful. That makes us insecure about the future. Whereas we don't know what is going to happen in the future. So what we have is only the present moment. At this moment, am I all right? Am I fine? Am I healthy? If all the answer to the questions is yes, then what am I fearful about? When it comes to that, will when you reach there, you'll cross the bridge. But this, because of this fear and insecurity, these emotions create a lot of other negative emotions. It has a cascading effect, and these emotions have to be replaced by faith. Now, how do you do that? One is by living in the present moment, by bringing all your awareness and attention in the present moment. Because as soon as you are centered, as soon as you are in the present moment, then there is no fear, there is no insecurity. Second, have faith in the universe. Because if you believe in this, that okay, there is some superpower, there is something which is taken care of me. Whatever is happening in my life is happening for my highest good. Then that fear for the future will go off. Point number 3 is belief in the self, self belief, what we say. That is again very, very important, because as soon as you develop that self belief that, okay, I can do it, I have the power to do it, I have the capacity to do it. Most often we underestimate ourselves. Most often we feel, no, I can't handle this, it is too much, it is beyond me. So that self belief goes for a toss. So if you do these three things, like be in the present moment, we live in the now, which can be done through meditation, through mindfulness, through a lot of breathing exercises, a lot of other things. If you have faith in the universe, and if you have faith as belief in the self, you can turn this fear into faith, and then there will be no. So as soon as you get into the faith mode from the fear mode, you automatically start feeling very strong mentally. You feel that, okay, I can handle it. Whatever life throws at me, I'll be able to handle it. So that way it helps to build up the mental resilience.
So the
Point
faith
number
is not
3.
just
Yeah, sorry.
it's not just a faith in any particular God, or I mean, it could be a faith in God for people.
See,
People there are
ultimately, it
there
could
are
be
atheists. Yeah,
it could be faith in anything. You may believe in
yeah,
certain God, you may believe in a guru, you may just believe in the universe, you may believe in the superpower, that energy which is protecting you. So it is just general faith, rather than naming it that, okay, I have faith in this person. It is, even if you have faith in that person, it is your faith, it is your faith in that person is creating, or in a statue or in an idol, that is making it God, right? So it is not God, it is your faith that is making it God. So that faith has uh, to develop
yeah. And like you said, it can
for
also be
me.
a self-belief.
It is,
It's a
yeah,
sense of your faith is there that you are going to be taken care of, and you are going to take care of
yeah,
yourself. And you have that
absolutely,
sense of trust in the universe, that this is a benign universe that I live in, and the universe is not
absolutely.
conspiring against me; it's conspiring for me. So yeah,
And
so that kind
if you
of a
look
faith.
back at your if you look back at your life, you'll see so many incidences where universe has taken care of you without you even
Right.
knowing it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so
So
that
then
takes us.
where there is faith, there can be no fear.
Yeah, absolutely. So fear has to be replaced by faith, and faith can be developed. Faith is also like love, like happiness. Faith is already there. It just gets marred by all the layers and all the things that surround us. So it
It
is it
does.
is just it is just required to, we just need to penetrate, go within, explore, and reach there, because that faith is there. You just need to explore it. You just need to invoke it. So yeah, so that takes us to the third point, which is
Yeah.
take an observer standpoint. So by this I mean, I'll just give you a small example from my life. When I was going through some challenges, some difficult phases, very difficult phase in my life, and I was also on the spiritual path at that time. So I happened to meet a spiritual teacher, and I asked him that I would, I just want peace in my life. I just want to be happy and peaceful. I don't want anything else. What do I do? So the teacher said, oh, it's very easy. So I said, how can it be easy? I've been trying it since a long time. I said, okay, what you have to do is just look at everything in life as an observer. You are neither a doer nor an experiencer. You are just an observer of this great phenomenon which is called life. So I said, okay, I mean, that's very profound, but how do I do it? I mean, it's not as simple as it is said. But when I started thinking about it, I realized that that is the truth. Because what happens is when you are in the middle of a chaos, like there is a chaotic situation, there's an adverse situation, and you are in the middle of it, you're a part of that situation, you you cannot see things clearly. So it is very difficult to find a solution to the problem that you are in, because you cannot think clearly when you are in the middle of the crisis. So what you need to do at that time, what my teacher meant by observer standpoint, is what you need to do at that time is lift yourself up, take a bird's eye view of that whole situation. So you are in the situation, but you're also looking at the situation from outside, like how you watch a movie, and then you can see the whole thing very clearly, and then you know what to do, because there's clarity in thinking. You get the space to think because you have detached yourself from the situation, and then you can see it in a better way, and you can find a solution to come out of it. Like for example, since we're talking about the pandemic, what initially even I was a little disturbed that how things are going to pan out, what is going to happen. But then when I thought about this from an observer standpoint, so I said to myself that okay, so maybe I'll live for whatever 70, 80 years. Out of those, only this 1 year, if I lift myself up and see in the whole lifespan of whatever lifespan I have, it is just this 1 year which is causing all these issues, these problems. And this year is going to pass by, and things will again like happen the way whatever the new normal will take place, or things will again come back to normal, and we'll start moving. So this is only that one small patch that I have to go through, and I'm going through it. So I'm just passing through that it's like passing through the tunnel to come out again in the light. So when you lift yourself, when you detach yourself from the situation, and when you see it as an observer, the way you see it, that perspective is very different, and that gives you the mental strength to go to it. Then you can tell yourself, okay, this too shall pass. It is not a permanent thing. It is just a temporary thing which I'm going through, and this is also going to pass. So that really helps to strengthen your mental muscles.
Great. All right, great. Thank you, Aruna, for sharing your three tips for developing mental resilience during difficult times such as the pandemic. And I hope everyone got something of value from this talk. And I hope to see you all next Friday at 5 p.m. again on eShe World. And please like and follow eShe World on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you, Aruna, for being here.
Thank you,
And
Ekta.
we'll talk to each other again soon. Thank
So
you.
just
Thank you,
before we wind
everyone.
up, I would just like to say
Yes,
one
yes.
thing,
Yeah, sure.
that what is the biggest secret of mankind? It is
Yes,
how powerful we truly are. So we all are very powerful. We have that mental strength within us. It is just a matter of invoking it.
great,
Thank you.
great. Thank you so much. And see you all, everybody, see you all next week at the same time. Bye bye.
Bye.